Okay, in part one, we deployed our cloud underlay to AWS, and we did the base configuration on all the cluster instances via our automation. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add all the nodes into the cluster. So what I did was I logged in to all the 3 vmanage instances through the GUI and changed the password. That's decoupled from the password that we set when we did the deployment. And then what I did on the first vmanage only, I came into administration, cluster, and I selected edit. And, or actually I thought I did this, but I didn't do it. Let me just, hold on. Make sure I'm on the right machine here. So vmanage 1. Okay, I was. And we're gonna come over here, and what I did, or what I'm going to do, is first of all, after changing the password, I went into administration settings, and I found multi-tenancy, and it said edit, and I selected multi-tenant, and it rebooted. Now, the next thing I need to do is come into administration, cluster management, edit, and I need to select the cluster IP. So I've decided that's the 10.100.3, that's the cluster subnet. So I'm just going to type in the password, and it's going to reboot again. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. After it reboots, the next step is I am ready to add in the other vmanage cluster IPs. However, I can only add in one at a time, and it's going to reboot again. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes before all the services come up. So I will pause now, and I will be back when this machine is ready to add vmanage 2. Okay, vmanage 1 is back. I am going to log in, and I am going to add in the first cluster node, which is vmanage 2. So again, I'm going to come to these left bars. I'm going to go to administration, cluster management, add vmanage, and I'm going to go grab the IP of, where did my IntelliJ go? I am going to grab the 10.100.3 IP from vmanage 2, and I can connect there and do a show entity and see that the .3 address is here. So I'm going to add that in, and it prompts me for the username and password on that machine, and I'm going to select add. So everything's going to reboot again. I am going to follow this exact same process for vmanage 3, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. We have the third vmanage pending, and if we go up on the side here, we can see what's completed and what's active, and I do believe it is in a restart state now. So the next step then is to do the certificate install for all 3 of these. Now, because all large companies have their own certificate authority, typically the process is that they give you their cert chain, you install it on the machine, you generate a CSR, you send it to them, they generate the cert and send it back, and you install it. But what I'm going to do is, because this is not usually a process that network admins do, DevOps do it, but primarily there are security teams that do this at large corporations. Regardless, what I'm going to do is install a root CA on vmanage and the V shell, which is the Linux shell. And I will show how to do that. I will show how to add the nodes in, create the CSRs, and install the certificate for the primary node as well as the first node. Then I'll pause the recording again. And the exact same process needs to be done not only on a vmanage, all the vmanage nodes, but on all the vbond and all the vsmart. So it's quite a laborious process. Now, certain aspects of this can be handled through the API, but not all of it. So at this stage of the maturity of the API, it's easier just to do it manually. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is see if vmanage is back up, and then I'll get going on the enterprise cert. And if you want to find the instructions for it and specific examples, it's in the repo root under enterprise cert. So enterprise cert steps. So as you can see, it's quite a long document with a lot of examples. And this is what we'll be doing next.